I want to tell you something about fear. Fear does not go away before you do the thing. It goes away because you do the thing. This is one of the most important lessons in language learning and in life. Most people wait until the fear is gone before they act. They wait until they feel confident before they speak, until they feel ready before they try, until the nervousness disappears before they raise their hand or pick up the phone or walk into the conversation. But confidence does not come before action. It comes from action. The confidence you are waiting for, the settled, ready, unafraid version of yourself that feels prepared to speak English, is on the other side of speaking English scared. Not on this side, on the other side. You cannot think your way there. You cannot prepare your way there. You cannot wait your way there. You have to go through it scared, shaking voice and all, wrong grammar and all, heart beating too fast and all. Do it scared and discover on the other side that it was not as bad as the fear promised, that you survived, that you are slightly more confident than you were before, and do it again. Today's story is about a young man named Rayan. Rayan was scared of speaking English. The fear was genuine and big and had been stopping him for years until he decided to do it scared anyway. This is his story. Meet Rayan. Rayan was 27 years old. He worked as a researcher at a small policy institute. He read, analyzed, and wrote reports on economic and social issues. He was sharp and thorough, the kind of person who thought carefully before writing and revised until a piece was genuinely good. His written work in his native language was excellent. Clear, well-argued, precise. His English reading was strong, too. He had studied independently for years, reading articles, papers, reports. He could read academic content in English comfortably and without a dictionary for most passages. He could write reasonably well in English when he had time to draft and revise carefully. But speaking English in real time with real people in front of others was something almost entirely different. He had spoken English in public exactly 3 times in 3 years of professional life. All 3 times had felt like the worst kind of examination. His heart had beaten too fast. His mind had gone partly blank. Words had come out wrong or slow or in the wrong order. He had been acutely aware of every mistake, certain that others were noticing and judging. All 3 times he had survived, but none of them had felt like anything other than an ordeal to get through. After the 3rd time, a brief comment he had made at an academic seminar that had come out muddled and had required a colleague to clarify it, he had made a quiet, private decision. He would stop putting himself in situations where he needed to speak English publicly. His written English was strong enough for most professional needs. He would use that. He would stay on the safe side of the fear. For 2 years, he had honored that quiet decision. Until an invitation arrived that he could not find a way around. The invitation, a regional policy conference, international, presentations in English. His organization had been invited to present research findings, and Rayan was the researcher most familiar with the work. His director asked him to present. Rayan felt the fear immediately, large and cold. He thought about declining. He could give a reason, a scheduling conflict, a personal situation. He sat with the fear for 2 days. On the 3rd day, he said yes. Not because the fear had gone, it had not. Not because he felt ready, he did not. But because he understood, sitting alone with the invitation for 2 days, that the fear was not going to go away before he said yes. And if he waited for it to leave before acting, he would wait forever. He said yes, scared. And then he had 6 weeks to prepare. Lesson 1, prepare. But accept the fear. Rayan spent the 6 weeks preparing seriously. He wrote the presentation carefully. He practiced the content until he knew it completely. He recorded himself presenting on his phone and watched it back. He did this many times. He corrected his pronunciation of key terms. He practiced transitions. He prepared for likely questions. He was thorough. He was disciplined. But he did not pretend the fear was gone. and he did not try to make it go away. He had read somewhere that the goal before a difficult performance is not to eliminate the fear. It is to prepare well enough that the fear does not prevent the performance. The fear would be there. That was accepted. The preparation would ensure that the fear, however large, did not stop the words from coming. He practiced speaking while slightly nervous by recording himself immediately after watching something that made him anxious when his heart was already slightly fast. He wanted the fear to be familiar, not comfortable, just familiar, something he had practiced alongside. He wrote in his notebook, "The fear will be there. I prepare so that the fear cannot stop me. I do not fight it. I practice with it." 2 weeks before the conference, he gave a dry run of the presentation to two colleagues. He was nervous. His voice was slightly fast in the first 2 minutes. He kept going. His colleagues gave feedback. His wise he incorporated it. He kept going. Daily English sentences. Repeat after me. I prepare well enough that the fear cannot stop the words. I do not fight the fear. I practice alongside it. The goal is not to eliminate fear, it is to perform despite it. My voice was fast at first. I kept going. Fear familiar is better than fear unexpected. I say yes scared. Then I prepare seriously. The preparation and the fear exist together. That is fine. Lesson 2. The morning of the presentation. The morning of the conference, Rayan woke up early. The fear was there, present. Familiar by now, he had been living with it for 6 weeks, but still large. He did not try to talk himself out of it. He did not tell himself there was nothing to be afraid of. He acknowledged it. He thought, I am scared. That is true, and I am going to present anyway. That is also true. Both things at once. He arrived at the conference. He registered. He found the room. He sat and listened to two presentations before his. During those presentations, he noticed something. Both presenters were accomplished researchers. Their English was strong. Their content was excellent. And both of them, even these experienced, prepared, capable people, showed small signs of nerves. A slightly faster speaking pace at the start. A brief loss of thread recovered quickly. A hand that moved more than usual. They were not fearless. They were doing it scared too, just more practiced at it. He thought, if they are doing it scared and they have done this many times, then doing it scared is just what this is, not a sign of inadequacy, just the normal human experience of doing something that matters. His turn came. He stood up. He walked to the front. He looked at the room, 40 people, international, attentive. His heart was fast. He began. Daily English sentences. Repeat after me, I'm scared. That is true. I present anyway. That is also true. Both things at once. Fear and action together. Even experienced presenters do it scared. That is normal. Doing it scared is not a sign of inadequacy. It is just what this is. My heart is fast. I begin anyway. I walk to the front. I look at the room. I start. The fear did not stop me. The preparation made sure of that. Lesson 3. What happened during the presentation lasted 18 minutes. Ryan's voice was slightly fast for the first 90 seconds. He noticed it. He slowed himself deliberately, a technique he had practiced. The voice slowed. He continued. At minute 4, a technical term he had prepared for, he said it correctly. He moved on. At minute 9, a slide transition he had practiced many times. Smooth. Natural. At minute 14, a question from an attendee not waiting for Q&A. An engaged question about a specific data point. He paused, he thought, he answered, not perfectly, but clearly enough, specifically enough. The attendee nodded, satisfied. 18 minutes ended. Applause. Ryan walked back to his seat. His heart was still slightly fast. He sat down, he thought, I did it. Not perfectly, not fearlessly. Not the way a native speaker with 20 years of conference experience would have done it, but he had done it. Scared, shaking slightly, voice fast at the start, and the research had landed. The question had been answered. The audience had listened. He wrote in his notebook that evening, 18 minutes, voice fast at first. One question answered. Applause. I did it scared. It worked. It worked. Daily English sentences. Repeat after me, 18 minutes. Done. scared, and done. Voice fast at first. I slowed it deliberately. I continued. A question from the audience. I paused. I answered. They nodded. I did it scared. It worked. Those 4 words are everything. Not perfect, not fearless. Done. That is enough. The research landed. The audience listened. Fear did not stop that. I walked back to my seat knowing I had done something real. Lesson 4. What doing it scared built. 3 months after the conference, Rayan was different. Not dramatically, not overnight, but in a way he could feel from the inside. He had said yes to 2 more speaking opportunities after the conference, both smaller, both still slightly scary, both done. And each time, the fear had been there. Each time, smaller than the last. Each time, the doing had made the next doing slightly more possible. This was what doing it scared built, not fearlessness. He was not fearless. Evidence, accumulated evidence that the fear was survivable, that the doing was possible, that on the other side of the scary thing, he was still there, intact, and slightly more capable than before. He thought about the 2 years of avoiding, the quiet decision after the muddled comment at the seminar, the safety of written English, the conference invitation he had almost declined. 2 years of not doing it, scared, had not made the fear smaller. One conference of doing it scared had, and 2 more speaking opportunities after that, smaller, still scary, done, had made it smaller still. He understood now what he had not understood before. The only way through the fear is through the fear, not around it, not by waiting for it to leave, through it, doing the thing, scared, and finding on the other side that the fear was not as permanent as it had claimed. He wrote in his notebook, 3 months of doing it scared. The fear is smaller, not gone, smaller. Each doing made the next more possible. This is how it works. This is the only way through. Daily English sentences, repeat after me. Each doing made the next one more possible. Not fearless, evidence full. That is what doing it scared builds. The fear is smaller now, not gone, smaller. That is enough. 2 years of avoiding made it no smaller. One conference did. The only way through the fear is through the fear. I keep saying yes, scared. Each yes shrinks the fear a little. This is how it works. I know that now from my own experience. Final words. Do it scared. Ryan's story is simple. He was scared of speaking English. He avoided it for 2 years. The fear stayed exactly the same size. Then an invitation arrived that he could not avoid. He said yes, scared. He prepared seriously. He presented, voice slightly fast, heart beating hard, and the presentation worked. And the fear got smaller, not gone, smaller. And the next time, smaller still. Maybe you are scared of speaking English too. Maybe you avoid the conversations. Maybe you stay quiet when you have something to say. Maybe you let opportunities pass because the fear is too big. I want to say one thing. The fear will not get smaller while you wait. It gets smaller when you act. So find one small thing, one tiny opportunity to speak English today or this week, even briefly, even imperfectly, even in a low-stakes situation where nobody important is watching. A short comment in a meeting, a question asked out loud, a sentence said to a colleague or a stranger, or even to yourself in your room. Something small, something real, something that requires your voice. And do it. Scared. Let your voice shake. Let your grammar be imperfect. Let the nervousness be there because it will be, and that is fine. Finish the sentence, finish the thought, stay in the conversation, and notice when it is over that you are still here, that the thing you feared did not destroy you, that you did something brave and small and real, and then do it again next week and the week after. Because confidence is not the absence of fear. Confidence is the evidence built one scared action at a time that the fear can be survived, that you are capable of more than the fear tells you. Do it scared, again and again, until the fear is smaller, until the evidence is undeniable, until you look back and realize you have been doing it scared this whole time, and it has been working. See you in the next one. Stay calm, stay brave, and do it scared.